Maximos IV Sayegh. Maximos IV Sayegh or Saïgh, 10 April 1878 in Aleppo, Syria, 5 November 1967 in Beirut, Lebanon, was Patriarch of Antioch and all the East and Alexandria and Jerusalem of the Melkite Greek Catholic Church from 1947 until his death in 1967. One of the fathers of Second Vatican Council, the outspoken patriarch stirred the council by urging reconciliation between the Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches. He accepted the title of Cardinal in 1965 after Pope Paul VI clarified the significance of that title in the case of an Eastern Patriarch. Life. Maximos Sayegh was born on 10 April 1878 in Aleppo. He was ordained a priest on 17 September 1905. On 30 August 1919 he was appointed Archbishop of Tyre, Lebanon, and consecrated eparch by Patriarch Demetrius I Cadi. His co-consecrators were Ignatius Hamzi, titular Bishop of Tarsus dei Greco-Melchiti, and Flavian Cowrie, Archeparch of Homs. On 30 August 1933 he was named Archeparch of Beirut and Byblos. The Synod of Bishops of the Melkite Church elected Maximos Patriarch of Antioch on 30 October 1947, succeeding the recently deceased Cyril Roman IX Magheb. His confirmation by the Holy See was on 21 June 1948. Following an old tradition of the more than 900-year-old order of knighthood, founded in Jerusalem to take care of lepers in the hospital Saint Lazare, he was the spiritual protector of the International Ecumenical Military and Hospitaller Order of Saint Lazarus of Jerusalem. Participation in Second Vatican Council. Patriarch Maximos IV took part in the Second Vatican Council. There he championed the Eastern tradition of Christianity and won a great deal of respect from Eastern Orthodox observers at the Council and the approbation of the Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople, Athenagoras I. As a participant in Vatican Roman II, Patriarch Maximos spoke forcefully against the Latinization of the Eastern Catholic churches and urged a greater receptivity to the Eastern Christian traditions, especially in the area of ecclesiology. He stated that, "We have, therefore, a twofold mission to accomplish within the Catholic Church. We must fight to ensure that Latinism and Catholicism are not synonymous, that Catholicism remains open to every culture, every spirit, and every form of organization compatible with the unity of faith and love. At the same time, by our example, we must enable the Orthodox Church to recognize that a union with the great Church of the West, with the See of Peter, can be achieved without being compelled to give up orthodoxy or any of the spiritual treasures of the apostolic and patristic East, which is opened toward the future no less to the past." 1. Also at Vatican Roman II, Patriarch Maximos successfully advocated use of vernacular languages for liturgical services, noting that Christ offered the first Eucharistic sacrifice in a language which could be understood by all who heard him, namely Aramaic. Never could the idea have come to them, the apostles, that in a Christian gathering the celebrant should read the texts of Holy Scripture, sing psalms, preach or break bread, and at the same time use a language different from that of the community gathered there. Why, then, should the Roman Church cease to apply the same principle today? Speaking at the Council on the matter of indulgences, he noted that the practice of indulgences too often favors in the faithful a sort of pious bookkeeping in which one forgets what is essential, namely, the sacred and personal effort of penance. Cardinal. Patriarch Maximos IV accepted the title of Cardinal in February 1965. Previously, he had refused 3 times the honor on the grounds that for a patriarch to accept a cardinalate is treason. Patriarch Maximos Roman IV's objections were rooted in history and ecclesiology. He argued that the patriarchs of the Eastern churches were heads of their respective churches and successors to their respective apostolic sees, only subordinate to the Roman pontiff, but were not subordinate to the cardinals, whose position was that of being members of the principal clergy of the Diocese of Rome. Patriarch Maximos Roman IV also argued that the rank of patriarch, being only subordinate to the Pope, had been repeatedly confirmed by past ecumenical councils and never explicitly revoked by any pope. As such, it would be inappropriate for him or other Eastern Catholic patriarchs to accept the rank of cardinal, which implied being made a titular member of the Latin Church with a subordinate clerical rank, as opposed to their being leaders of their respective churches and successors to their respective apostolic sees united under the leadership of the Supreme Pontiff. 11 February 1965, Pope Paul VI decreed that Eastern Patriarchs who are elevated to the College of Cardinals would belong to the order of Cardinal Bishops, ranked after the suburbicarian Cardinal Bishops, that they would not be part of the Roman clergy, and would not be assigned any Roman suburbicarian diocese, church, or deaconry, that their sees as cardinals would be their patriarchal see. Pope Paul VI decree satisfied many of the concerns of Patriarch Maximos, and he accepted his elevation to the rank of cardinal. He was created Cardinal Bishop Patriarch, the consistory of 22 February 1965, and received the Red Biretta on 25 February 1965. The Patriarch's acceptance was protested by Ilyas Zogby, the patriarchal vicar for the See of Alexandria, Cairo, and the Sudan. The vicar opposed the acceptance of the status of a Roman cardinal by the Melkite Patriarch on the grounds that the leader of an Eastern Catholic Church should not hold a subordinate Latin Rite office, and in protest of Patriarch Maximos' acceptance, Zogby resigned as vicar. Patriarch gave a speech on 14 March 1965, clarifying his reasons for accepting, and how the Pope Paul's decree altered the nature of the College of Cardinals. It was no longer just an institution within the Latin Church, but was now the Senate of the entire Catholic Church, and an Eastern Catholic Patriarch, who became a cardinal, was no longer accepting a subordinate position in the clergy of the Latin Church. It was now a way for the Pope to extend to the Eastern Patriarchs an additional role in helping him govern the Universal Church. On 22 November 1965, he was assigned the Church of Santa Maria in Cosmedin for religious celebrations while he was in Rome. He was not assigned the Roman deaconry title associated with the church, as he would have been were he not an Eastern Patriarch. The title of Cardinal Deacon of Santa Maria in Cosmedin was retained by Cardinal Francesco Roberti, who held the titular church from 15 December 1958 until 26 June 1967. In October 1966, he received medical treatment at the Curie Foundation in Paris for a tumor on his left eyelid. His health deteriorated upon his return to Damascus, and on 8 October 1967 Maximos traveled to Beirut for further cancer treatment. He died on 5 November 1967 in Beirut at the age of 89. He was succeeded by Maximos V. Hakim. Specific references. General references. Dick Ignatios, 2004. Melkites, Greek Orthodox and Greek Catholics of the Patriarchates of Antioch, Alexandria and Jerusalem. Roslindale, Ma. Sophia Press. Press. Murphy, Gerasimos, 2011. Maximos Roman IV at Vatican Roman II, A Quest for Autonomy. Roslindale, Ma. Sophia Press. Press.